You might have noticed the headlights are off, courtesy of Tyler. Tyler pulled my headlights out, and last night I did a little bit of baking. Let's go show you where I'm at with the headlights. So I got it apart. Basically, you just throw it in the oven at 220, and yeah, I did each one individually rather than shove them both in there. I put you put them in for 10 minutes. That's enough to soften this little sticky goop stuff here. This isn't melted plastic. It's actually just that sticky goop that goes around, like, you know, like those little plastic films and panels and stuff like that in your doors, whatever you have to mess with a regulator or something. But it's real gummy stuff, and the colder it is, the more brittle and hard it gets. So think of it as kind of like rubber or something, but it's real sticky, like bubble gum. Once it warms up enough, it gets all liquefied a little bit, so it's easy to pull apart these covers. What I'm going to do is, the S15 headlights are from a right-hand drive vehicle, being that we're in America, in the States. The cutoff plate inside, so I'm going to have to take it off probably before you can see it. I'm not sure you can see it in there. Let's see. There's a cutoff plate in there. You can see it. It makes the light go up and to the left. If you can see that little plate in there, how there's a little hump on that flat plate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the projector apart and make the hump, or I'm probably going to either flatten out the hump and just have a flat cutoff beam, or I'm going to have, if I can flip it, I got to see how it looks when I open it up. But what I'm going to do is, if I can just flip it, that'd be the best way, because then I don't really need to modify the plate. But the plate is pretty much statically mounted in there, and I can't really flip it, or whatever reason, you know, fitment, something like that. Then what I got to do is I'm going to go ahead and Dremel it flat. So that's my other option, or, you know, make it whatever shape I want. But the idea is I don't need light aiming up and to the left, because oncoming drivers are on the left side, and that would blind them, which is not cool. So I have my lights aimed down really low, and it basically is bad for me, because at night I really can't see too much, because the headlights are pretty much aimed 30 feet in front of me. And the other thing is, these headlights are super duper hazed out. I mean, I've got a clear coat on it, but it's seen better days. See, so it's got nothing left in them. One's actually worse than the other. You can probably see it there. Just look at the before and after of the countertop. So that's messing up some of my lighting as well. I have wide-square S15 headlight repair lenses. So they're like pretty much crystal clear, and that'll help a ton. So basically I am modifying the headlights to be more left-hand drive friendly, as well as, you know, refurbishing them to increase the lighting output. Because being as yellow as they are, even with the clear coat on it now, it's reached a point of no return. It's not worth sanding it back down and trying again. So these are more than worth the trouble. So we're going to be doing that and go from there. Right now I just got to clean up the housings and everything before I really start taking stuff apart, because I'd rather have it, most of the goop off, so it doesn't cross-contaminate and get stuck somewhere where it's really hard to get out. We got the projector housing and everything apart. So there's the lens, the reflector body, which is also the projector tube, and the main housing in the front. If you look at it, you might see that there's a bit of a line right there. You see how it steps up? Wait, yeah. So that little step right there needs to get ground down. The problem is, if you haven't already noticed, this plate doesn't come off. This is all one cast aluminum part. What I'm going to have to do is I'll have to just slowly file and grind this down. I'm thinking I might just need to draw a straight line, so I'll tape it off and just use a Dremel or something and grind down to that taped off line. That way it'll be as straight as possible. Initially I thought I could probably take a grinder disc and hit it, but I don't want to damage the rest of the housing. And you know, just slow and steady wins the race on this one. So I'll just use the Dremel. Initially I was thinking if it was a plate that you can unscrew and flip over, That would have been the easiest because we would have just kept this pattern, except they would have been inverted. So the high side would have been over here and the low side would have been here. But since this is all one piece cast, there's no way you're taking that off and flipping it. The only option is to take that bump off, and I'll just flatten this whole thing level. So my light will have a perfect cutoff beam that's just flat. Taped it off. So if you ever look through a magnifying glass, you know it's everything flips upside down and it's inverted. Left is right, right is left, up is down, down is up. So this is actually the high side, even though it looks like the low one right now. So I'm just going to be taking off the low side and bringing it up. But this side also has a slight wave to it to get into that little indentation. So I'm going to smooth it all out and make it one line. The tape is my stencil, so there might be some chips or waviness to it, but hey, better than a giant step up to the left. We're going to test the beam. This one is the trimmed beam, so this one should be a flat beam. Let's see what we got. Yay, flat beam. Look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty flat.
What about from far away? Aim it over there.
Dang, that thing is
I like it.
straight on. Yeah, you can see
It's a very flat beam, yeah. It's just the center of the beam where the most light is. It kind of bleeds over a little with the bump. Like aim it down. Aim it. You see how it has like a slight hump in the middle?
Yeah, because you had to straighten that out.
No, that's mainly because that's the center of the bulb.
Oh,
so there's
okay.
extra light trying to bleed around it. That's pretty cool. Oh, it looks good. The color looks good too. Look at the tree.
You can see it.
Yeah, it's a real sharp cutoff line.
You see that camera?
I think we need to aim the camera over that way a little bit. Hold on. Let's see it. So this is the modified cutoff beam. It's flat. Oh man, that looks good.
Yeah.
Look at that. Raise it up. Aim it towards the fence over there. Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
that thing is
That's
straight.
good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just to demonstrate what the factory one looks like. Look at that.
Oh
step.
my
That's
God.
annoying, ain't it? Look at it. And you just blind everybody with that.
Yeah, it's going to the left.
Go to the right in the grass. I don't know if the GoPro can see it very well sitting at ground level, but if you aim it up, you definitely see it.
Yeah.
So go up into the street. Look at that. Go down to the sidewalk on one side. Look at it. It goes completely across the street. It goes completely across the street. It's a huge step. It doesn't look that big on the plate. Yeah. That's how low I have to aim my light to keep from blinding people.
You lose a lot of light.
See, so on the left side, put it up to your mirror. That's where I had aimed. See, my right side is nothing. It's terrible. So definitely worked it. With the help of Tyler here, he was in control of the heat gun, and it scraped out as much as that old gooey stuff as possible. So I got most of it out here. So you know you can at least see the bottom of the channel. And this one hasn't been done yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and bake it at 220 for like 10 minutes or so. So what are we doing? We're gonna bake it. About 220. We'll let that do its thing. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
I got the headlight on. They turned out mint. So look, it makes the look of the car look so much better. It's kind of weird that it's clear top, but it actually lets you see if all your screws are in there. So at least I didn't leave any out. So I didn't bother fixing the bubble of the inner finish liner because that would involve you having to repaint and I'd end up losing that. So I just left it, I didn't care. The main thing was having really good lighting, and the lighting is very, very good. So that's my headlights. I got them aimed and everything. It's a really, really sharp, flat cutoff line, so I don't have to deal with pissing off other drivers now.